The bosses in Spongebob are very iconic. I feel like I start every lore video by using that word, but this is a very iconic show. If you like overthinking everything about Spongebob like I do, you might have thought about the buses at some point. Where do they really go to, and where are the bus stops in Bikini Bottom?
Hey!
The first appearance of buses in Spongebob is in the first episode, Help Wanted. But what we see here is that there is no bus stop at the Crusty Crab. Well, clearly the buses stop here, but there is no bus stop sign in sight. And this continue with the next time we see buses, which is in I Was a Teenage Gary, where one stops at Spongebob's house on Conch Street.
The bus is here! The bus is here! Come on, Spongebob! Jellyfishing! Jellyfishing!
The bus stops at Conch Street in other episodes as well, and in Dumped we see a bus sign on the other side of Spongebob's house on the Conch Street road. In The Pink Purloiner in Season 4 there is a bus stop on the same side, but by the looks of it, it's a bit further towards Patrick's house.
So, this is it?
Barring the unforeseen hand of fate? I'm afraid it is.
Patrick, don't go! I'm sorry I accused you!
However, earlier in the episode we see the bus stop more in the middle, leaning towards Spongebob's house.
Good night, Patrick.
Good night, Spongebob!
We do see a bus stop at Patrick's house in Hooky as well, where a bus drops off Patrick after he has gotten caught by the hooks.
Oh, does somebody have a can opener?
I will count this all as the same bus stop though. It's at most 20 feet away from Spongebob's house. And the bus stopping at Spongebob's house, or closer, is something we also see in Roller Cowards.
Oh, look, the bus is here!
Wait for me, Patrick! Woo! Fiery fist of pain! Here we come!
In Gary's new toy, we get another view of the Conch Street bus stop, looking to be now to our right of Spongebob's house.
Do you smell something burning?
This might actually be a different bus stop because of it switching sides and being a bit further away, but I mean it's still close. Maybe they broke the last one. So I'm just stupid. First of all, this is not the first time we see it on the Conch Street side of the road, on the house's side, but also obviously there has to be two different bus stations on Conch Street because you take one for each direction. Because we have seen them take the bus to the left and to the right. So yeah, you just kinda ignore that. There are two different bus stops on Conch Street. In Hocus Pocus, it's here as well.
I don't care where you're going, just take me away from here.
Then take one card and shove it in your ear.
And in Breath of Fresh Squidward, we see the same thing with a bus dropping Squidward off in front of his house.
Good night, Squidward!
Hey, Patrick, did you notice something different about Squidward?
New glasses?
Obviously, when I'm talking about the buses, we can't not mention the most memorable appearance of them. Well, the scene in Help Wanted is memorable too, but Rock Bottom is all about buses.
Let me get my wallet.
In this episode, Spongebob and Patrick take the bus from Glove World, leaving Bikini Bottom and going to Rock Bottom.
Hey, Spongebob?
Yeah, Patrick?
Where's leaving Bikini Bottom?
Where did you see that?
We just passed the sign. You are now in leaving Bikini Bottom.
What?
What's wrong, Spongebob?
Patrick, I think we're on the wrong
Rock Bottom is not even the last stop, like buses leave to both directions here.
But sir, we need to get back to Bikini Bottom.
Oh well.
Where is this, Spongebob?
And later in the episode we see Patrick going back to Rock Bottom with the bus driving past the houses on Conch Street.
Home at last.
Don't worry, Spongebob, I'm coming back for you!
Now, if they actually are on the wrong bus is up for debate. I mean, yeah, SpongeBob said it, but it's not like they were paying attention to the stations going by.
Show me what you got at Glove World.
Okay, here's my glove light.
Wow.
I see you. Ah!
I got gloves for my glove action figure.
Cool.
But Patrick does go by Conch Street at the end of the episode. Now, it is Patrick, so he might be on the wrong bus, but we know he did get back to Bikini Bottom on the bus that he took from Rock Bottom.
Hey, Spongebob, the bus is here!
But the bus also stops at the Crusty Crab, so let's go back there. The Crusty Crab didn't have a bus stop sign in Help Wanted, and the same goes for Graveyard Shift and Band in Bikini Bottom, where buses stop there.
Hello!
And also in Season 7's Squidward in Clarinetland. In all of these episodes, the buses just stop in front of the Krusty Krab with no bus sign. In Wishing You Well in Season 4, the bus drives on the backside of the Krusty Krab, where there now is a road.
The only thing I wish for is to be far away from here.
Bye, Squidward. Enjoy your trip.
Lucky.
In this episode, it's different though. 1, the bus doesn't stop here, it drives straight by, and 2, he did wish to be taken away in a wishing well, so the bus just spawned in, probably. Another one that shouldn't count is in Chum Bucket Supreme, where the bus stops at the Chum Bucket.
You fellas look hungry.
As we can see, this is a bus dedicated to the Bikini Bottom hockey team, so it won't go by the usual bus routes, and the same goes for Grandmom's the Word.
Hi, Grandma.
That's a Shady Shoals bus, which is the retirement home in Bikini Bottom where Plankton's grandma lives, so that bus has an agenda as well. But it does stop at the same place that normal buses have before, so it really doesn't change anything. Now, if you have watched my video on which way the Krusty Krab is from SpongeBob's house, which got set to YouTube Kids without me having any say, by the way, you would know that after me yapping for 10 minutes, the conclusion was ultimately that we don't know. So placing the Krusty Krab on the Glove World to Rock Bottom route is gonna be hard. Also, we have no idea if it's the same bus route or how many different buses there are in Bikini Bottom. The Season 12 episode Squids on a Bus naturally has a lot of important bus lore for us and even starts at a bus stop.
Where's that bus? I've been waiting for almost an hour.
Almost an hour, he says.
So now we got a bus stop on the houses side of Conch Street again. And this is the bus that Squidward takes to work.
Oh, it smells like a narwhal's armpit in here.
All right, that's it.
Crusty Crab.
Squidward is a backseat driver, so he and the bus driver gets into beef and decide to switch jobs to prove the others is easier.
Oh, I like this. Good morning.
The first bus stop is impossible to place. It's an old woman in sand with no houses around, and that's the case for many of the bus appearances in Spongebob. You don't really know where they're at. The next one is in the same boat with Spongebob getting on.
This stop is Coral Boulevard. Thank you for riding with your merry bus driver, and have a beautiful day.
Squidward!
We don't see the Conch Street houses in the background, and clearly his ass ain't working, so he could really be anywhere. He even admits later that he don't have a stop to get off on, since it's his bus riding day. We see the bus driving over a bridge, or whatever you call this, like a highway in the sky. This takes him into the Bikini Bottom city, and the next stop is Patrick in the middle of nowhere. How do y'all even get here? I have no idea where this place is, where everyone is getting off, but Squidward keeps driving, or actually he forgets to drive.
Who's driving?
Well, I am, of course. Wow!
At this point, we kinda can't read into it anymore, cause if I'm not mistaken, that was probably not the right way to the next stop. However, what we do know from this one is that the bus goes past Squidward's house, past Patrick's house, to get to the Crusty Crab. So basically our left when looking at the houses. Going back to the pink purloiner, this episode showed them going from Jellyfish Fields to Conch Street, but we also saw them get off at Jellyfish Fields at the start of the episode.
You know, Patrick, the jellyfish migration is my favorite time of year.
No bus sign, but they get off at the Jellyfish Field sign, and later when they are going back, we see a bus sign.
I would kill for a net like that. You know, something small like a carrot. But not spiders, they're icky.
Here we also see the bus coming from our left, putting Jellyfish Fields on that side of the route as well. Realistically, that would be further away from Conch Street than the Crusty Crab, but who knows, like, the bus could be driving in circles for all I know. Sandcastles in the sand shows Spongebob and Patrick get on the bus at maybe Conch Street?
Little sunscreen and I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm spending the whole day at the beach with my best friend.
You're hurting me.
Like, they were just in Patrick's house before, but we don't see where they get on. This bus takes them to Goo Lagoon, but we can't place it on the bus route since it isn't shown to be connected to any of the other bus stops. And we don't even see the Goo Lagoon stop since they are kicked off the bus a bit before getting there.
Hey, wait! This is not our stop!
In Texas, we see that there is a bus stop near Sandy's Tree Dome.
It'd be too sad.
No, wait! Sandy!
We also see in this scene that the Crusty Crab is very close to Sandy's Tree Dome, but we never see a bus between the two locations. And in Chimps Ahoy we see probably the same bus stop again.
So long, Bikini Bottom. I can't leave without a goodbye. But please don't think bad of me if I start to cry.
Then, in A Flea in Her Dome, the bus stops very close to Sandy's house, and the same thing happens in House Sitting for Sandy, where the bus is set for Texas. Matter of fact, in all of these bus appearances, it's Sandy going to or returning from Texas. So, I mean, it could be fair to assume that this could be a different bus than the Bikini Bottom bus, one that like only lives in that direction, to Texas or whatever land. I would say the same about the bus that flies to the island in the sky in Clash of Triton. But I mean, it's possible it's after Rock Bottom or Glove World on either side. It's just no way of knowing with these one-off stops that we only see them get off at. The last episode I would like to look at, I think it would be fitting to do the like sequel to Help Wanted, I guess, Spongebob.
Krabby Patty! Krabby Patty
Spongebob follows the anchovy into the bus, which goes from the Crusty Crab to our left and stops at Goofy Goober's. After that, it goes to a sunglasses store and then a mattress store, and after this it ends up at Conch Street. Coming from the right direction as well, or like the left direction, but yeah. Unless more episodes with detailed bus routes come out, or we get a map or something, it's gonna be very hard to place most of these stops. But we actually got an official map. Don't get mad at me for saving it to the end, I needed some kind of twist, and the twist is actually real for me as well, because the video was almost done before I remembered someone had sent this to me on Twitter. Shout out to Glistlow, you made my video almost have a point. So we have 5 different like lines or times that the buses go by. This is way too complicated for me, to be honest. I only know how to keep track of if they are going to left or right. But the red is every 3 minutes, which is crazy, because that means there is a bus going by Conch Street 20 times an hour. Probably not the same bus, but yeah. But this also says that every 20th minute a bus drives between Spongebob and Squidward's house on the scenic routes. I don't think Squiddy would like that very much. This is already hurting my head, but by the looks of it, they are saying you take the bus to the right to get to the Crusty Crab, which don't seem correct from what we have seen. That's the only way you can get from Conch Street to the Crusty Crab without switching buses halfway. This also means you can't take a bus from Conch Street to Rock Bottom. Technically that could be true since we never saw Patrick go there or the bus driving by. Here you take the green line, which apparently is only 3 times a week, to get from Glove World to Rock Bottom. But not down to Rock Bottom actually, as the last stop there is before you hit Rock Bottom. The scenic route goes to Rock Bottom though, although it doesn't connect to Glove World. So what are we even doing?